A fun ordeal.
Post Malone edition.
Second time being here.
So we're not like the cameraman right now who's had Raising Cane's 45 times. This is only our second time having it.
Yeah.
We weren't too fond of it the first time.
No, I didn't. I wasn't wanting to come back, but then of course, you know, this is the Post Malone, Dallas Cowboys inspired Raising Cane's. We saw some other Cowboys fans in here as well. It was quite busy, and so had to come back. Wasn't expecting much, but have to say, 100% better.
100% better.
I would say probably the first experience was like a 5, just average.
Yeah.
No reason to come back. This one, 7. I'd come back.
Do you think we were biased because it was to do with the Cowboys and stuff?
Yeah, I definitely made it taste better. But I was a little upset because I did get my sticker with my meal, but I only got one piece of that Texas toast or whatever the hell it is, and you guys got 2.
I had two.
Adam did give me half of his.
If you're flying into Dallas Love and you want to catch a Cowboys game, before you hit up your hotel, I highly recommend checking out the Post Malone Raising Cane's in Frisco, Texas.
Frisco, Tesla.
I'm not going to say I'm a Raising Cane aficionado, but when I'm in Dallas, Texas, I have to come to the Cowboys branded, Post Malone branded Raising Cane's. Did I like it a little bit better because it was posty? Probably. But I like the Texas toast, I like the chicken fingers, and I like the Raising Cane sauce, baby. Okay, what are you doing right now?
Watching the video.
What are you doing right now? Watching our video or watching your video?
I'm waiting for a 94-year-old lady. I'm supposed to have sex with her in these bushes.
Okay. Yeah, we're leaving. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so we just got talked to by the Raising Cane's management saying that we weren't allowed to film if we were professionals.
Thank you for that compliment.
But Raising Cane's, I'm gonna have to dock you down a little bit.
You've been docked.
You've been docked. I've been docked. We said 7 out of 10. Now my experience is brought down to a solid 3.
Whoa.
You don't come at my boy.
One job.
You don't come at my boy.
There he goes.
Cross him off the left! Cross him off the fucking left!
But the Cowboys obviously didn't want him because they knew, like, if you're trading
They
back
traded
on,
back.
so every single trade was a street shot.
Here we go! Shoot him if you boot him! Oh, what a rush!
I know they're getting a lot of awesome content. They're getting fired up, getting ready. Still a few picks away. Big shout out to all you Cowboys fans. And they said no Brady rules applies.
Crack him, baby, Oh my God! I am a Greek god! Oh, bad luck! He dropped the pick! Get down!
No!
Guyton!
He's not on your board.
Guyton!
I said this to Deffy. I was like, if anybody got picked, any offensive lineman that'd be upset about it'd be Tyler Guyton. Be happy about that. We got a starter.
Yeah.
We got a starter, and we got a day 2 pick.
Hey, Tyler Guyton, welcome to the team!
Boost me up a little bit more than that. Okay, that's good there, AJ.
Eric, BOTG, Bot D.
Time to time to pay the piper here.
Get
We're
this
about,
monkey suit off! Come on!
what are we doing here? We got Guyton and we're wearing suits still? What the
Such bullshit.
Paying the
Paying the bills.
Cracker, go.
Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs. 20,000 subs, thanks to the nation. You got our back like we eggs and bacon. Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. That be our war cry. Shotgun, screech shots, boosting every stream live. Thank you, Confana Maniacs. We do this cause we know you got our back. 20K milestone, all because of you. Big shout out, fam, from the Can Fan crew. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs.
Where the fuck is he standing? Wide the fuck open!
Thank you, Maniacs.
How was he wide open?
20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs. 20,000 subs, thanks to the nation. You got our back like we eggs and bacon. Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. That be our war cry. Shotgun, screech shots, boosting every stream live. Thank you, Confana Maniacs. We do this cause we know you got our back. 20K milestone, all because of you. Big shout out, fam, from the Can Fan crew. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs.
Come on, man, listen, man. Shout out to Canada, man. Shout out to the whole Cowboys Can fam. You feel what I'm saying, man?
Thank you,
We're in the building, we're
Maniacs.
doing big things, and big things popping, little things stopping. We outside, worldwide. It ain't been stepped on.
Thank you, Maniacs.
Now the party's getting started, baby! Woo!
30 minutes. So you guys can load up right now for $4 or $5 a drink.
Nice.
What's the drink? Oh! Why didn't you call my middle name, son?
We're here to kick ass on this happy hour. We're gonna have to draft them if you got them, right? Draft them if you got them. Let's go.
Show call, baby! What's up, baby? How you doing, brother? I'm good. Okay, come. What's up, man? Puro pinche Cowboys!
Let's go. Point to the lips. Raise it if you will. Come on, crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
That was Vegas 2022.
2032, baby! Las Vegas! Let's go! Hang on. Vegas! So those are the 4 top stadiums for Super Cowboy, baby.
I love it. Then you put your hand out.
Oh, yeah. But you gotta look up so people can think someone else is pointing.
That's it.
We will get naked for money.
Naked for money!
Super Cowboy said when we're in Texas, we have to have a shiner beard. So he bought us a brown, fellas. Get him up.
Let's go!
We are El Destino Cowboy camp fans right here, man. We're doing our thing. Get ready. Thanksgiving, we beating them damn Giants. That's what's happening for real. Let's go.
We're like giant pussies.
I'm gonna guess the sizes.
Well, I think it should be pretty easy to guess. Medium.
Oh shit! Large. What's a medium?
Doing our thing. Hey, much love to you guys. Keep doing your thing, baby. Happy Thanksgiving. Nothing but blessings. Let's go.
Okay. I feel like that drop that's when we would have taken our shirts off.
Oh yeah.
Shirts off. Shirts off, slow motion, tying the shirts around our heads as headbands. It's all in slow motion.
We're moving slow, and then the
Explosion.
housekeeper at the hotel opens the door and sees what's going on and kind of like pulls her head back out and it's like, I am not going in
It's
there
way
right
stinky in there.
now. It is too foul.
Smells like farts in there.
Farty McGee.
Are we gonna do it? I brought it up. Okay, hey, Cowboys Chris, take it away.
Man, from Chilliwack, British Columbia, here's your starting lineup for the Cowboy Can fan.
Ooh.
At guard, at 5'5" tall, is our man, A.
It's 5'8". It's 5'8". It's 5'8".
I wish you were 5'5" now.
At the shooting guard, he's the Michael Jordan of Canada. He's our man. He is Anthony Betsy.
The Michael Jordan of Canada? I like it.
The
Yes.
man in the middle, the heart of Chilliwack, British Columbia. It is the captain. He is Adam Betsy.
I do agree with the captain call out. And then, hey, you got to finish with yourself. You got to give us your Cowboy Up podcast intro for yourself. You got to do it.
Hey, man. And from Stop 6, Texas, it's the big fella. It's him.
There we go.
Cowboy Chris.
Yeah. Oh, that was great.
Hey.
Oh, yeah. Get him in there. Crack him if you got. Crack him if you got him. That one is for Cowboys Chris. And as you said, from Stop 6, Texas and the Cowboy Up podcast, big fella with us. Has a million nicknames, but to us, he's Cowboys Chris. To everyone else watching, you call him whatever you want. He will allow you it. Chris, welcome back, buddy. It's been a minute, and love to have you on.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm rocking my Way J merch today, man. Look at that.
Is it the where? Is it the Way J?
Yeah.
Nice.
The Way J merch, you know.
I love it. I love it.
And the tie-dye cowboy hat, you know. Hey, man, I'm in the Great Northwest now. You know, I'm feeling a lot more liberal.
And Chris, you know, Chris, with you just getting into the PNW out here, you already have your hat collection up on the wall. Was that the first thing you did when you set up shop in your new spot?
Man, I had to do something with them because they were sitting in a box and that was irritating me. I was like, man, I hadn't finished my room yet. So, you know, that's the first thing I did do. I threw my hats up.
How many hats are up there right now?
Right now it's a row of 10. That's 40 on right there.
Shit.
I got another 8 on this wall. I got 20 in storage in Texas, and I got 3 on the way here. They'll be here on the 12th.
Did you order new hats for the upcoming?
It was new hats.
Which ones did you get?
There were some old school classics from Mitchell and Ness.
Nice. Okay. Now those are all those are all cowboy hats. How many Michigan Wolverines do we have?
Oh, the Michigan wall only got 4.
Okay.
Only 4.
Okay. I'm set to go.
I got four. I got 4 Texas Rangers hats. I got 2 Dallas Stars hat and 4 Dallas Mavericks hats. But I boycotted the Mavericks since they traded Luka.
Fair, fair play.
Yeah,
That's a fair play.
What about now that they got the flag?
I'm boycotting since they traded Luka.
It's just done. Like no, how
I like it.
how would they ever get back into the big fella's good grace? Like what would they have to do?
If they reacquire Luka?
Okay, hey, I asked a question and I got an answer, and that's a pretty cut and dry answer. So
And
Hey man, I was thinking like this, man. The Mavericks got lucky when they got Dirk Nowitzki, right? And when you fall and you get a generational talent like Luka in your lap, and you got rid of him because he doesn't play defense, well, they don't come to see him play defense. They come to see him put the ball in the hoop. And when they traded him, man, the people in Dallas is still devastated over that Luka trade. The Cooper flag pick may pacify some people, but it ain't pacified me at all. I'm still pissed about it.
you're still pissed. You ain't having it.
speaking of Dallas and Texas in general, how do you have anybody in your immediate family or friends that have been affected by the floods?
No, because the floods were in central Texas, kind of closer to Houston, San Antonio area, Austin. North Texas, it rained heavy, but we didn't get any no flooding up there because my whole family, the wife and family, everybody's still in North Texas. They hadn't got affected at all.
Okay,
Well, that's good. to hear.
That's great to hear.
That's good to hear.
Mhm.
So guys,
Hey, well, the offseason was going pretty smooth, really, for the
Some would
Dallas
say.
Cowboys. Some would say, like,
some would say like as smooth as a nice drive while you're smoking a joint.
and toting the pistol.
And toting
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
There's nothing better than driving all hopped up on weed with a gun in your hand,
just
right?
twirling it and
Just-
pissing out the
That
open
sound
window.
That sounds like the typical drive home in Texas, though. 'Cause, everybody in Texas have guns, so that's nothing. When they said a gun charge, I'm like, that's everybody.
Yeah.
The only thing the difference is that weed is not legal in Texas. So
So that
We got to marry the two.
So that's the hat out of the bag. Cowboys All-Pro returner Kevontae Turpin arrested, faces weapon and marijuana charges months after signing deal. And this is good that we have a Texas native in the house because Chris is the reason that and I just want to get it right out there, is the reason he got the weapons charge was because he had weed on him? Is that the only reason?
he got the weapons charge because he don't have a license.
Oh,
for it.
dumb.
Because in Texas you can get a concealed license in Texas, right?
Yeah.
So or if the gun wasn't in his name or registered in his name, okay. So if you don't have those things in Texas, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get a gun charge, right? Especially if it was loaded. If it's one in the clip, one in the chamber, you definitely going to get it if you don't have either it's in your name or you have a concealed license permit in Texas.
Which is crazy because, like you said, everybody in Texas has a gun. Like, just get
Everybody.
it. But so I was reading because
Get
I
a license, man.
I really dove into it, and if I dove into it, I went on Reddit.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of reading the comments on Reddit and what they had said, what some of the people that said they were from Texas on the Reddit forum, they were saying that the reason he could have the gun legally, but as soon as you have an illegal drug on you and an illegal substance, it voids that license because you have weed. So I don't know how true that is, but
I've never heard that before.
okay. So this is good because obviously you would have heard that. So
Yeah, because literally everybody in Texas has guns, and a lot of people aren't licensed to have. With a concealed gun license, but the gun is registered in their name. Okay,
Right.
So you won't get a charge for that. But yeah, it's just not in his name or license. The two is so easy to do in Texas. Literally, a concealed license. All you do is go to class for 5 hours on a Saturday, and then they give you a piece of paper and say, "Hey, you got a concealed. You can carry this anywhere."
That's what I just did this past Saturday, big fella. I went and got I'm a registered. Well, I'm not a gun owner yet, but I'm a registered gun user.
the guns that you can get up here are much different than what you can get down in Texas.
So sorry, in Canada, Chris, we for a registered gun, we don't have any type of concealed carry. We can't do it. And technically right now in Canada, you can only own a rifle or a semi-automatic rifle.
with a
okay.
7 bullet clip.
It's BS. I want
Seven.
the 6-shooter.
Yeah, seven,
Right?
seven bullets.
And you cannot buy a pistol. You cannot
Wait.
have a pistol in Canada.
When I get off the air, I'm just gonna send you a picture that my brother showed me. All the new guns he got.
Sweet.
Oh man.
My brother has 2 ARs. He got a couple 45s, a couple 9s, pump shotguns. He got all this crap.
So we're shooting this Thanksgiving, right? We're gonna go and shoot this Thanksgiving.
If you want to go shooting, all that.
Hey, we could.
Yeah. Fuck, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
You just named the Canadian military with those 6 guns you named. That's our whole military.
Well, 2 things. Number one, when you send that to Adam, let him know so he can switch to his VPN, so the Canadian government doesn't freak out.
Think he's arms dealing.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
number 2, speaking of Cavante Turpin, I did just look up here. What they said, he had a loaded weapon, but what was loaded was his bong, baby. Oh snap! He's like, they're like, hey, are you loaded? He's like, hell yes,
yeah, I am. I'm
You want to
rolling.
rip?
Hey, and what's so bad? Every state that's surrounding Texas is legal, but Texas.
Yeah.
Well,
New Mexico, Denver, Oklahoma, Louisiana, is legal there.
It's crazy.
Not Texas.
Not Texas. Can't have the green.
It's just one of those things, though. Like, you're a professional football player.
is he?
Why would we even why would you put yourself in this type of situation? It doesn't make sense. We see it time and time again.
Man, this is what get me. And we did our last show. We did what we call our summer break before training camp.
Fair.
And every last show, Mikey always say, everybody, stay good, stay at home, stay out of trouble.
Yep.
Because we don't want to hear no news about the Cowboys for 3 weeks, right? So week number 1, what happens? Cavante Turpin get pulled over. And if it was somebody that wouldn't be important to the team, we could care less, right?
Yep.
But everybody, including you guys, including me, got high hopes for Cavante. You know, he signed a new deal. We figured he'd be more prominent in the offense. You know, he's deadly on special teams, and we need him on our team. Now we're going to see what our head coach is going to do about this now, because remember, it was all about the culture change now in the Cowboys. So what is he going to do? Is Shotty going to suspend him a couple games, or what is he going to do? I'm really curious about this.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, because he's literally a person on the team, man. Is kind of he's under position that we can't really replace with anybody else.
You know what's funny? I'm just reading this. He had 31 catches for 420 yards.
Oh,
420 yards. Cavante, you son of a bitch.
So, oh yeah.
That actually, I thought that was a soundbite.
I know that sound.
That was a good bong impersonation, ad.
Thanks, man.
So yeah, he was arrested on the weapons charges and the marijuana charges in Allen, Texas. Where is Allen located there, Big Chris?
Allen, Texas is north of Dallas.
Okay, like a suburb of Dallas.
That's where what was the quarterback for the Cardinals? What's his name?
Kyler
Murray.
Kyler Murray went to Allen High School. So yeah, it's right north of Dallas.
Well, maybe he was playing some video games, just got some munchies, who knows?
But decided to go roll around. Well, again, everyone has a gun.
Allen is probably about 15, 20 minutes from the Star.
Okay.
So he may live in Allen.
Right.
So yeah, it's not far from the Star at all.
What's interesting here that kind of totally I didn't even know, which is my own fault, guys. 3-year, $18 million deal, $6 million a year. Is he the 3rd highest paid wide receiver on the team? I know it's for special teams.
He's got to be.
You know what? Yeah, he has to be.
He's got to be because
he has to
Tolbert's still on his rookie deal.
Yeah.
No way he's making more than that.
No.
Mingo's on his rookie deal. Pickens, he might even be making more than Pickens because Pickens was a 2nd-round pick.
Sure.
He might even be the 2nd highest paid wide receiver on the team.
So I think to go over your point there, Chris, real quick about what do we predict? Because this is a prediction episode. What do we predict the Cowboys would do? How will they respond? And like what Schottenheimer going to say? Go ahead, Chris.
I think they're probably gonna give him a game. I think he may miss the opening game.
Don't you say that, Chris.
I really do. I mean, because y'all been hearing the whole offseason, about how the different culture is in the Cowboys. And I think he has to, man, really, because he's been titled the players coach and everybody's respecting him and this and that. But what happens when you become a player's coach, sometimes you don't get that discipline part where you try to discipline the players, and next thing you know, they're gonna run to Jerry. Hey, Jerry, he's doing this to me, I think they have to, man. It's gonna kill me too, but it's just one of those things, man. I think they're gonna give him a game, and I wouldn't be surprised if they gave him 2.
Yeah,
because
give him 2
you gotta
games.
remember, if it's not the Cowboys, the NFL may give him a game or 2.
Right. I think the NFL. I would rather the NFL do it because then the Cowboys wouldn't have to do it, right? They could be like, oh yeah, well we were going to suspend him also, but oh man, not having Turpin out there for the week 1 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Not only week 1, it's opening season. Like that's the NFL. Like imagine Turpin returning the kick. First play of the NFL season, returning the kick for a touchdown. Oh. That's a possibility if that guy's there. If he's on the bench, oh man, that takes a little excitement out of it. My question though is, in past incidents, because both of the charges are misdemeanors, right? Yeah. I just
and he's lucky because he was in Texas.
Yeah.
Okay. Because he was in New York, he'd be going to prison.
He's going to jail. Oh yeah. If he did that in Canada, if you got pulled over with, they wouldn't give a shit about the weed.
Bud.
Hey, bud, what are you doing there with that?
What's
that pistol?
Going on, bud?
Hey there, pal. What's that in the back of your car there? Eh?
But if you're rolling with a gun,
brush that marijuana off your leg, and what's underneath that?
Get that medicine away from your pistol.
Yeah.
But if you get caught rolling around with a gun in Canada, it's a pretty serious crime.
Well, you can drive. He could, if it's a handgun. Let's just preface that, handgun or an automatic rifle. If he was a registered gun owner in Canada driving with the gun in plain sight in his car, he's legally allowed to do that.
Oh, shut up.
I'm just saying, guys, I'm sorry.
He wasn't even legally carrying it in the States.
I know.
So you just changed the whole scenario. If you had a legal gun and it wasn't a pistol, you just changed the whole fucking story then.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, hey, what's the saying? And if I was your aunt, or if my aunt was your uncle, it'd be your son.
Yeah.
You can't just say shit.
Now we're gonna have to deal with Vampire
Semantics,
Slayer
guys.
Adam for the next 6 months.
Semantics. That's all this is. Okay.
Gun owner ad or gun license dad?
Yeah, like he.
Hey, that's Wyatt Earp Adam, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Doc Holiday.
Yeah.
I must say
Actually,
though.
sorry, Wyatt Earp, because I'm all about the law right
You're
now.
Wyatt Earp. AJ would be Doc Holliday. I
got tuberculosis.
I would be not.
You'd be Morgan.
No, I don't think I'd be Morgan.
No, you'd be Sam Elliott's.
Yeah, I'd be
You'd
Sam.
be Sam Elliott's, because we're talking about the Tombstone.
No, I'd be Morgan. I don't think I'd be Sam Elliott.
You'll be Bill Paxton.
Are you sure I wouldn't be Johnny Ringo?
Oh, you might be.
You might be Johnny Ringo.
You might be Johnny Ringo.
Johnny Ringo.
No, Ant would be a Johnny
I like
Ringo.
Doc Holliday, man. You are a Huckleberry.
Yeah,
bro.
AJ's our. I think you're our Doc Holiday.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'll be the brother that gets killed.
That's
Bill Paxton.
I'll be him.
that's
I'm
me.
fine with Paxton.
I think I'm Bill Paxton.
Okay.
I liked his character.
So I'm Sam
I just
Elliott.
watched that like
well,
a month
who's
or two ago.
Chris?
Chris is Morgan.
Yeah, Chris is. No, if you're Morgan, that's Bill Paxton's
Sorry,
character.
Sam Elliott.
What's his brother's name? Anyways, Chris is absolutely
So
the Sam
I'm
Elliott.
fucking Wyatt Earp?
No, I'm Wyatt Earp. You're fucking Doc Holliday.
Okay.
I think I'm more the Blazing Saddles.
Yes. That movie's fucking insane, by the way. That shit's crazy.
It still got it. It's a good
That shit
story.
is crazy.
Hey, it's still funny, man. And they filmed that in the 70s, bro, and it's still hilarious.
So Chris, big fella thinks Turpin's getting a game suspension. Bandwagon boys, what are you guys feeling?
I'm going to say, I honestly think the Cowboys will just let this run its course in the media and not do anything.
Hope it's just kind of forgotten about.
If they do, Chris, I think it's a preseason game. So I think you might be right in that it'll be the first game, but it will probably be the first preseason game if they do. Just because I do agree, if Shoddy wants to have his culture taken serious, he does need some sort of reaction. The lucky thing is, yeah,
he got to do something. He has to do something.
But we're just far enough. We're in that zone where we're far enough away that if news dies down, the Cowboys might be able to just not do anything.
We knew this was coming, though.
Yeah.
We knew someone was going to do something. Ad, what do you think?
Well, I think what's going to happen is Cavante Turpin's going to walk into Shoddy's office, and Shoddy's just going to just look at him. He's going to say the words, I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed. And then he'll stand up, unzip his pants, flop his wiener on the desk, and say, I got to suspend you. Because he needs to show...
Dominance.
Chris, he's flopping his wiener out there just to show dominance, as Alex said.
Dominance.
Okay.
That took a turn.
Is that how you show it?
Yeah.
It's one way. It's one way.
It's one way.
Yeah, in Canada you do okay there, bud. But
Canada, you whip it out on a desk.
But
Chris, you just got to the PNW. Trust me, you'll be whipping it out soon enough.
But he wants to say
Hey, honey, I'm gonna whip it out in a minute.
But he wants to say to the team, he wants to show them I'm a player's coach, so I'm going to show you the meat. If you're meat gazing here, then you're going to get suspended for 2 games.
If you're not, if he keeps eyes locked,
Yeah, eyes up here,
then
just like
he doesn't
Superman.
get
Eyes
suspended?
up here. Then he doesn't
I'm
get
going.
suspended.
I'm going no suspension.
You don't think any
no, I don't
suspension?
think he's gonna get suspended.
and it's a possibility because they're misdemeanors.
Give him a
I
fine.
think that's the main thing.
that's why. And
maybe
the time.
Maybe they fine him.
Yeah, they could fine him.
I would
NFL
not be
might.
surprised though if he's not playing.
I think
game
it's
one.
more likely the NFL suspends him than the Cowboys. That's what I'll say.
True. Yeah.
WWE guy in the chat says it's Cowboys off season. What do you guys expect?
Yeah, someone's gonna end up.
Ivan Sosa, what's up, Ivan?
Somebody's gonna end up in the news. And Turpin, again, you don't like to see it. And at first you see weapons and drug charges, and when you read the headline, you're like, oh god,
Yeah.
oh, this is gonna be bad. And then you read it and you're like, oh, it's not even that bad. And the comments are hilarious. Everyone's like, it's Texas. What do you mean? Of course he had a gun. Which is true.
Brother, this is really no exaggeration. I mean, everybody I know literally has a gun, from people, from friends to family to just acquaintance. It was my neighbor one day. I was just joking around with him, and we had the gun in the man cave, and I took a picture, sent it to him. He sent me a picture of his whole arsenal. I said, man, I was just joking. I'm sorry. I don't want to smoke.
So
I don't want to smoke.
yeah. Okay. So sorry. You're right. In the U.S., you think Shoddy then, instead of pulling out his gun in his pants, he pulls out an actual gun to Turpin and says, you see this? This is a gun here. This is a Desert Eagle gun.
But it's legally owned.
But it's legally owned, okay? Cavante, don't be stupid.
Your move next. The crazy thing, like when Tay and I went down to Texas the very first time, she was like, everyone's so nice down here. And I said to her, it's because everyone has a fucking gun. You don't fuck around. No one's scared of it. Like, everyone's being nice because there's no reason not to be.
There's no road rage in Texas.
No. You can't. You'd be dumb to like get out of your car to go to someone's window. No, I'm next. Not happening.
That'll be the biggest mistake you ever made in your life in Texas.
Agreed.
Why does no one tell them to stay the hell out of Collin County?
Oh, that was Rue.
I know.
Hey, from the Cowboy Podcast. What's up, Rue? Collin County is Allen, Texas. That's what he means.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, so Rue, just remember, we're in Canada, and geographically, Texas. We know Arlington. We know
we need the DFW.
Yeah, we've stayed in Fort Worth, and we've stayed in Dallas proper.
And
okay,
I was so proud of y'all. Y'all stayed on the south side of Fort Worth, man. That literally definitely is the hood.
Oh, AJ and I had a little bit of a moment when, well, AJ doesn't remember this, but me and him went to go get more beer at midnight, and we roll into the gas station. And they have a fully armed guard, and I'm like, "Yo, is this area kind of bad?" He's like, "You guys are walking around." We're like, "Yeah."
Yeah, we did that a couple times.
Just cruising around, but everyone was really cool.
You guys gained much street cred from me. Well, I wouldn't even do it. I was like, "Oh my God, they're on the south side and they just walking around."
Oh, walking around not all over the place, and like late at night.
Yeah.
In fairness, though, Chris, we were in a place that looked like it had started to get developed. There's that.
Yeah, this is gentrification. Yeah, because matter of fact, the building next to it was an old school building. My mom went to elementary school there.
No way.
So that whole neighborhood used to be a black neighborhood. Now it's becoming a gentrification.
Hey, moving on up. We're moving on up, baby.
Well, the school that he's talking about was the pub bar thing that we went to. It's just this little
building,
just a cinder, like a square building.
There was two. There was
perfectly. It's perfectly square. It was just square. Yeah.
There was that, and then there was two wicked awesome barbecue joints that we could walk to, and then of course the armed Stop and go or whatever.
Yeah, the guy was holding an AR in the gas station. I was like, holy fuck.
We made friends with him.
Yeah, AJ talked to him. I don't think the guy knew what we were saying. But
I mean,
Can we touch your gun?
We walked the other way to go get some gas station snacks a couple times. We almost burned down our Airbnb with the air pockets.
That's nothing new.
No,
that's Can Fan Night too. Usually.
Just a quick question here, and I know you already said it at the top of the show, but our boy Boots showed up slightly after. He goes, side question for Chris: is 21 Armando good in San Antonio? I know that they had a real tragic flood. He's in El Paso.
He's in the desert in El Paso.
Okay.
He's in El Paso.
So 21 is good.
If it rains in El Paso, it's a miracle.
Well, you know, if 21's there, that's when miracles happen, baby.
Mm-hmm,
It's true.
That is true.
So I think we're all on. We think that if there's going to be a suspension, it's not going to go any more than one game at least.
I hope he's not suspended.
Maybe not even. And that's
Hey,
that's fair.
have ever in your history of being a Cowboy fan, you would say, "Man, I hope a special team guy don't get suspended."
This is it.
I mean, have you ever said that ever?
No.
This is the time.
Hey,
I mean, Dan Bailey in his prime, I wouldn't have wanted him suspended. I mean,
Yeah.
Brandon Aubrey, I wouldn't want him suspended. But Cavante Turpin, week 1 against the Eagles.
He's so electrifying, man. That's
can't.
the issue
Yeah.
because he brings electricity to at any moment he could go.
He could go.
At any moment. And that's every time, it's the ball's in the air. We all get antsy, get excited, like, oh, he may take this one. He may take this
Totally.
one,
Every time. Get the screech ready.
No.
Get the screech
Actually,
ready.
Can I say the only time I didn't was when he did return it?
Well, yeah,
against
when he
Washington.
did the spin,
Washington?
fumbled it, spun, and we're like, what are you fucking doing? And then he's gone.
I mean, Cavante Turpin is just trying to solidify himself as the bad boy of special teams
Which I'm
in
okay
the league. He's looking at guys like Justin Tucker, who's getting expelled from the game or suspended from the game for getting a bunch of handies. He's like, I'm not gonna register this motherfucking gun, and I'm gonna have enough weed to get it. Well, I mean, any joint in Texas is different, so I'm gonna have weed in general.
What about if he's also
It's a PR stunt.
if
for
he's
him.
like, look, George Pickens coming to town, he
Yeah.
wants to play tough. Okay, I need to show this
Show
guy.
street cred.
yeah, exactly.
I got it too. So
It's a ploy.
well. This brings us to kind of. We can. I mean, might as well start with the wide receiver 3 position. What we're going to be doing is going through a list of position group battles. Well, and there could be more than this list. I'm going to just quickly list the positions, but we'll start with wide receiver.
Going into training camp.
Going into training camp. Thank you, Anth. We got the running back room. I mean, is it going to be a disaster? Is it going to be thriller? Who knows? Quarterback 2, wide receiver 3, which we'll be discussing right next here. Cornerbacks 2 and 3. Defensive end, I guess. Defensive end 3,
Like depth,
but
yeah, like depth.
We're looking at the depth players. Who's going to basically fill the role of being Micah Parsons?
Who's going to be
understudy?
Who's going to be rushing opposite of Micah or when Micah's not on the field?
And then also tight end is another one that could be interesting for us to touch on. But let's start here with wide receiver. I brought up an article. This is from May 30th.
Yeah, so probably just before
Oh,
OTAs.
I'm sorry. This is last year. Adam, cut the feed.
Oh my God.
Cut the feed. Cut the feed. It came up in news. Stupid AI. But
Yeah.
anyways, let's start with wide receiver. We have Turpin, Tolbert, Mingo, and then a slew of other guys who have shown some quality promise. But
Flanoy,
Jalen,
why can't I think of the other Jalen?
Cropper.
Cropper,
Moreno.
like
And then, yeah. So there's a bunch of guys who continue to be on the Cowboys squad. In my mind, it comes down to Tolbert as the guy who played number 2 last year. He should be stepping into number 3. But there's also Turpin and then Jonathan Mingo, who's getting, he's gone through a full off season now with the Dallas Cowboys, played some time. So what are your guys' thoughts or hopes? Kick it off with whoever wants to go first. I'm not like Anthony.
Let's have our guest get on it if he was even listening.
I know.
I was listening.
Sometimes when AJ talks,
I drone on.
Sometimes when AJ talks, I just go like this.
F you, Adam.
Crack him if you got him.
Crack him if you got him. Get it in you, son. Get
so
that drip in you.
Oh yeah, and I'm importing the drip when I come to Canada.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
Chris. I'll make sure. I'll make sure we have a couple cases to send back with you.
Hell
Chris,
yeah.
you do that barbecue I saw that
Oh,
you
shit,
shared
yeah.
with us. You come up here, do that barbecue. We will feed you drips, baby. We'll feed you
What
drips.
about this? My first in studio, I'm bringing the food. What about that?
Oh, helpful.
Oh,
No, not on
Hang on,
our
let
watch.
me take this for a second.
Hey,
no,
guys, no, yeah,
no,
hey, fight him.
yes.
Fight him. Fight him. Yes. No.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Fight him.
yeah.
Fight him on it. Fight him on it. Okay, you can.
no. No.
I'm bringing the ribs. I'm bringing the chicken.
Shit.
man.
Yeah.
Well,
I got you, brother.
Okay.
I'm bringing it all.
do you know? Because Boots is asking in the chat. He goes, now that Chris is living so close to my beloved Canada, will he be joining CanFan for the live stream of the season opener in the studio? I said Big Fell's going to be live in studio multiple shows, but we haven't really discussed what games you're going to come to. Is there any games on the schedule that you're thinking you're going to hit?
I know for sure if it's a 10 o'clock kick, the big fella's in the house.
Hell
So
yeah.
that's New York Giants is
Week
the first
2.
one, week 2. Yeah.
I will be in the house. Now, the opening night may be kind of hard. You know, I just started a job here, so
Yeah,
I gotta
yep.
pick and choose because I still need to go to Texas for Thanksgiving, and then the Michigan game is a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving, and you still remember the Raider game is a Monday night, so
Right.
I gotta be strategic on which
Yep.
game.
Absolutely. But
Well, you're penciled in week 2.
But Chris, you can just practice this. Can I please go see my 3 friends in Canada, please?
Can I please go see my 3 best friends? Can I please go see my 3
Can I
best
please
friends?
cross the border?
Y'all are gonna get sick of seeing me this season.
Hell no. Not possible.
No.
So
not
guys, here
possible.
I'll read the wide receiver depth chart right now. So you got CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and these are the 3 starters: CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jalen Tolbert, and then backing up CD is Kevontae Turpin, backing up George Pickens is Jonathan Mingo, backing up Jalen Tolbert is Jalen Brooks, and then other guys in the mix after those 6 players are Ryan Flournoy, Paris Campbell, and Jalen Moreno Cropper. Those are kind of the nine dudes right now. So they have on the ESPN Dallas Cowboys depth chart, they are penciled in to have Tolbert as number 3. I'm going to ask Big Fella, is there anyone that could unseat Jalen Tolbert as that number 3 guy?
The only other person, 2 other people, of course, is Cavante, who we were talking about, and Mingo, because they wasted. I won't say wasted. I'm still a little pissed off they gave up that draft.
Go ahead.
Mingo.
Say it. Let it out.
I'm still a little ticked off about that, because to me, picks are precious. If you bring in somebody in for picks, he got to get on the field. And you saw at the end of the season, they were trying to force feed Mingo a lot. But it wasn't working out because our number 1 wasn't out there. So with a healthy Dak, I want to see what Mingo offers because he's a big body guy, right? So can you imagine big Mingo out there with big George and then with CD? It's some big guys on the field, and with Turpin as the 4th receiver, you got speed, possession, crazy hands, and big bodies all on the field. I'm excited about the Cowboys offense this year, man, just because, before they got Pickens, I was like, man, the Cowboys is going into a season with a knife and a gun fight. Now we're in the fight because we got bullets now, okay? Yeah. So that number 3 position to me is going to be a guy that's going to get a lot of passes thrown to him, because they can't double CD anymore. They can't double George, but if they do decide to double both, you got that number 3 guy. And I actually want to see this this preseason what Mingo has because, I just want to see it, man. I just think he has the ability, but, with him not having number 1 out there, we really can tell if the guy can play or not. With Tolbert, we saw what Tolbert can do. I clipped the touchdown catch and pass in Pittsburgh when I was up there.
Game winner.
The 7-hour marathon that we did.
Yep.
And I think that was his last touchdown of the season.
Yeah.
So I seen what Tolbert can do. I'm just really not impressed with him. I thought he was going to take a bigger step last year. and it just seems like he disappeared in games. So for me, it's a long-winded answer, but I'm expecting Mingo to step in that number 3 role.
I got a couple facts there for you guys.
Ooh,
So
fact it up, Wage. Fact it up.
all 3 of these guys, Lamb, Pickens, and Mingo, are all 6'2". Pickens is actually 6'3", and all 3 of them are 200 pounds, maybe a little bit heavier. But Mingo is 220.
Yeah, he's got some beef on him.
So I give you a total of 18 feet 7 inches running around that field, 620 pounds plus. For wide receivers, though,
That's packing.
And with Pickens' ability to go deep and stretch the field, and I don't know, honestly, I don't know that we've seen if Mingo can do that in the NFL. I don't know that he's really got that opportunity, but that's my hope and prayer, is that those 3 guys are out there.
We just need him to be the poor man's Anquan Bolden. Like, be that guy that's just like that big body guy. Crack me. That big body wide receiver that's getting all the matchups because your other cornerbacks are guarding Larry Fitzgerald. You know, that's what we need Mingo to be, because he's big, he's fast, he's got the attributes, he can do everything if just get him the ball.
Catch the ball, and who knows? I think anyone who's out there in that 3rd position with Pickens and Lamb on the field is going to benefit. We've seen what Tolbert can do, so nothing against the dude. That's why I'm just not really. I want to see Mingo be better than what Tolbert did.
We're not sold on Tolbert as 3.
We're not sold on him.
I think that's kind of all 3 of us. We've all talked, like everyone in the studio here. We've chatted about this before, Chris. We're kind of all on the same page as you. We want to see what Mingo can do.
But what if I give you this Mighty Ducks kind of? Is it Mighty Ducks 2 or 3 with the Bash Brothers, where
that's number 2,
the small Asian kid though?
Yeah, that's number 2.
Gets into the mix. Yeah, okay. So a Mighty Ducks 2, replace that small Asian kid with
Turpin,
the fucking felon,
with the felon himself. That would be kind of
Mr. Misdemeanor.
Mr. Misdemeanor.
Yeah,
Mr. Misdemeanor.
Mr. Misdemeanor.
I think we got a new soundbite.
And then I just want to ask,
that would be a nice mix.
Oh, that'd be a nice mix. What are we expecting stat wise? Like, Chris, what do you want to see from a receiver not named CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens? Like, what would be that stat line?
If I can get from the 3rd receiver position, give me 600 to 800 yards, I'm ecstatic.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Not really caring about touchdowns, because they should be eaten up by Lamb, Pickens, Ferguson.
Yeah, because I'm glad you said that, AJ, because we're forgetting that tight end position too, and that room is real deep there too. It's going to be some battles this year.
Oh yeah,
that position. So they're going to be fighting for touches, man.
We don't get there.
That got a lot of weapons this season.
Yep,
he does.
And I am really excited about that.
Let's just hope his fucking meat stays on the bone.
Yeah, just stay on the bone. Don't get torn up.
Yeah, Dak, this isn't fucking Chris's barbecue where the fucking meat just flies off that bone.
Oh, dear Lord.
What
are your thoughts?
My thoughts is this. I think, like, when we look at the depth chart here and the way that they are positioning, George Pickens isn't on a 1-year rental. I hope Mingo can be that wide receiver 3, because as Alex was mentioning, just the size of them. And then I don't want to start to go into the tight ends just yet, but you put someone like Brevin Spanford, who's also a beast of a guy out there. Now you got these fucking monsters as receiver weapons, speed and athleticism and size. But I also think that, like, depending on what happens with GP, that's what George Pickens, for those of you who are just tuning in. GP3. Whatever happens to GP3 this year, I mean, Jonathan Mingo, is he the understudy that's supposed to take that slot next year? Is it better for them that they could get Mingo on a better deal and he could kind of become that wide receiver too? Because if he is behind, let's say, a guy like Pickens, and he matches in that type of size, is he going to be looked at as their X receiver if he can actually step it up this year? So it'll be interesting to see how they scheme him offensively with the 3 of them, because as you look at the CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and then obviously Jonathan Mingo, you would think that Mingo would kind of play that big body receiver. Then you slide in a guy like Tolbert, or
you'd have Tolbert and Lamb on the outside. Sorry, Tolbert and Mingo on the outside. I'm fucking this up. Pickens and Mingo on the outside,
and CeeDee Lamb in the slot.
And then CeeDee Lamb in the slot, which would be fucking chef kiss, I think.
Yeah, because whenever CD is in motion, I love it. I love it because it's going to be one-on-one coverage if he's in motion, right?
Totally.
So the play action is in play. Everything is in play when CD is moving. And he's on the move. It's perfect. I love it.
Chris, sorry, you're gonna.
No, I was gonna say something, but it was a cheese day.
Okay, well, I don't want to move on. I just don't want to move on to tight ends just yet.
We're not moving on.
Okay, so Rolando Rodriguez says.
Okay,
Cowboys
let's move on. Just kidding.
Dunked on him.
Rolando Rodriguez says, Cowboys can fan. How big is that rookie from Oregon? Beer emojis. Cheers, crack me.
Oh, Travis.
He's not. I think he's slender. I think he's like 6'1", like $190. Is off the top of my brain here.
Which guy's Kelvin Harmon?
Trayshawn Holden.
Trayshawn Holden.
Oh, the speedster
Yeah.
they got. The
6'3". Okay, so he's tall, but he's light. So he's
a tall kid.
So he's slender.
He's gonna look like a CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, he's big though.
That kid can fly, man. He got some speed.
So
I think it's gonna be tough for him to get on the field. He got to really show out in preseason for him to even make the team.
Yeah.
Undrafted free agent, but he is a speedster. So I don't know because man, he got a lot of people in front of him.
There's a lot of guys.
There's going to be guys on. There's going to be guys on this depth chart right now that are on other teams, but come season, guaranteed. Because the wide receiver depth at the Cowboys right now, they're not going to be able to keep them all. And I have a feeling a couple of these guys are going to get snagged off practice squads.
Paris Campbell, who was a name in the NFL when he played with Indianapolis, I believe, he's fucking third. So, the depth is very nice. The problem is, actually, you know what? That George Pickens trade is now just making it's more and more of a gem, as long as it turns out. Because without Pickens, we'd be having a completely different conversation right now.
And we'd be like, okay, we have pieces, but we don't have wide receiver's not a strength. If Pickens isn't here, it's unproven.
Exactly. We would need a Paris Campbell or one of those rookies to step up to just fill those extra depth parts.
And now you just want one of them to try to make the team.
Just make the team, yeah.
Yeah, only way they're gonna make the team is on special teams.
Yeah.
I mean, because that room is too deep right now.
Yeah.
At first it was just CD. Now it got deep. One person made the room deep.
Totally.
One person, George. When George came and made the room deep.
We mentioned it a couple times here for preseason, and I don't want to side quest it, but I think I'm excited for preseason for some reason. I feel like this preseason is going to be so interesting to watch. I want to see Milton. I want to see some of these guys who need to step up. I want to see Jadon Blue. I want to see some of these potential guys who are fighting for those starting spots that aren't necessarily slotted. But I think, I know the three of us, we've all talked about it, but what's your thoughts? Are you excited for this preseason, Chris?
Well, Adam, I'm excited because it's going to answer a lot of questions because the team instantly got young. Then we got 30 new players on the team this year. So we need to answer some questions this preseason too, right?
Yeah.
So all the free agents that we signed that were number one picks on other teams, it didn't impress me. So I want to see if they could play. I'm like, because you're a number one pick don't mean you're a successful player. They let you go for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. So I hate that the Cowboys is that used car dealer. That's why I consider these players. They're used cars. And let's see if they run great or they're lemons. I don't understand it. But it's going to answer a lot of questions, man, because I want to see Blue especially, man, because I hate retread running backs. It irritates me, but everybody is in love with the veterans. And I was just like, I don't understand why. I just want something fresh, something new. We got a fresh new coach. We got a fresh new office coordinator, fresh new. I want something. I want new. I don't want retread anything for the Cowboys this season. Yep. So I'm like you, Adam. I am excited about the preseason. Of course, like always, I'm gonna watch every damn second, even though I'm bored to tears in the fourth quarter.
Well, hey, excitement. Hey guys, a month today,
Right.
August 9th is when the Cowboys have their first preseason game against the Los Angeles Rams. So we're a month away from Cowboys football, fellas. How good's that feel? Oh yeah, give us it.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you were gonna give us a hype song.
That was not supposed to. It's been playing the whole time. My bad.
But a month away, and we got Cowboys football back. We will be sitting here in 30 days streaming the Dallas Cowboys football game.
Big fella, it's a Saturday, so if you wanted to make your way up to watch in studio,
It's not an issue. I'm right down in Texas. They say I'm right down the street.
Hell yes, you are.
yeah, and so there's a 98% chance that I'm going to be out of studio that day. I'll be out of town, so they could definitely use a third person in here.
Would love it. Would absolutely love it. Side quest, is that the song?
Sorry, I just saw this, guys, and I go ahead, Chris.
As long as my position on that couch is vacant, I'm coming.
You'll be right here, big fella. You'll be manning my spot, because if Ad's not there, I'll be on the switcher like this.
Yeah, diddling
like that.
Diddling his twiddle.
Diddling the switcher.
Diddling the switchy.
I'm sorry.
Is this another side? Oh, so this is the side.
This
quest.
is a true side quest here.
Okay.
Because I saw this earlier. I just wanted to bring it up because I'd like to get a little rage into us, and I know that I'm breaking up the editing process. I don't give a shit.
Doesn't matter. You got to do it. If it feels good, do it. Even if you shouldn't, right? That's a lyric from a song.
Exactly. And part of my take just came out with their list, and you can already read it. Their list of quarterbacks.
They have him 24th.
Dak Prescott ranked 24th.
This is just trolling now. It honestly is. There's not 9 better quarterbacks, let alone fucking 23.
I don't even take crap like that serious. It used to upset me, when I see it, and just like Anthony said, it's just trolling. I mean, it's just to get Cowboy fans upset, to talk crap, and they doing it because Dak's first 6 games last year, they were horrible, and then he gets hurt. All right, but when Dak is in his bag, there's nobody better. I don't care what nobody says. I mean, hey, somebody who's a run-up in MVP and should have won it that year, I don't care what nobody say. They gave it to a running back playing quarterback. But I think Dak Prescott is a top 6 quarterback in the league, and I don't understand why he don't get respect. It just irritates me. It bothers me. But as a Cowboy fans, right now, it just roll off my back. I don't care. I want number 4 in my backfield.
Yes.
If you don't love him, I love him. So I'm a Dacker for life. Even Cowboy fans who hate him, and there was the same Cowboy fans who hated Tony Romo. There was the same Cowboy fans who hated Troy Aikman. Is what have you done for me lately? And they don't realize a number 4 pick, who you wanted. What was the kid name? That Denver drafted. I forget his name.
Bo Nix?
Right.
No. When the year of Dak.
His name is drawing a blank. But anyway, he's not even in the league right now. And I was like, you keep getting lucky with these quarterbacks, right? And you see what kind of performance that the Cowboy position had when Dak is not on the field. So without this total disrespect, I love it. I love they disrespected. So you keep sleeping on him.
They have Daniel. They have Daniel Jones ahead of him. Like that list. That Daniel Jones at 23. This list means nothing.
That proves it right there.
This list means nothing.
Big fella, just because we have R2J2 in the chat conversations living room with RJ. He's an Eagles fan, so take this as a disclaimer. But he says, how is he top 6 in the league when he is 3rd in the division?
He is not.
Boosh.
He's not.
Yeah, guess what? Hey, R2J2, you've been booshed.
Also, when all 3 of those teams are making the playoffs, then I think you could make that judgment, right?
This is what get me on this, okay? Anybody that wins more games than the Cowboys is instantly their quarterback is better than that, okay? So last year, the Commanders was missing a quarterback. They finally got a quarterback, but 1 year doesn't prove, he's better than Dak Prescott off of 1 year. You just being, I hate to say the word hater, but you're just hating on the guy just because you don't like him, okay? Nobody didn't know what Daniels could do until he got on the field and he actually got a new coordinator. They got new everything there. So it helped their offense. But 1 year, you just can't say he's better than Dak Prescott. That's asinine. You don't even watch football.
Yeah.
You just cheer against the Cowboys. That's it.
Yeah,
and Jalen Hurts had the best of everything. The best of everything. So if you get at the Dak Prescott, they win the Super Bowl too. So, you had the best defensive line, the best linebacker secondary. You had the best offensive line, the best running back in the league. You were supposed to win the Super Bowl.
Well, hey, you know why everyone discredits Troy Aikman for being a good quarterback? Well, you had Emmitt Smith. But then Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl, and you're like, well, he had Saquon. It's like, well, that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a weird ranking system. But to have Jaden Daniels at 5 after 1 year, I think he's going to be the 2025 version of CJ Stroud of 2024. I think he's going to have a fall off in 2025. I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to be a top 10 ranked quarterback after 2025. And if he does have the same statistical kind of season as he had in 2024, I'll start buying in. But I'm with Chris. I'm not buying in off of one season. I didn't buy the CJ Stroud hype. Everybody going into the 2024 season last year had CJ Stroud ranked as a top 10 quarterback. Where's Stroud here right now? 11th, which I think is even too high for him. So,
Trevor Lawrence being ahead of Dak Prescott, let alone Daniel Jones.
Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, Bryce Young. Bryce fucking Young ahead of Dak Prescott. Get the fuck out of here. This list is garbage. Get it off the screen. I'm about to show you a viral video of me front flipping into the fucking screen.
It started off innocent, but then it got angry. Side quest.
Hey, Anthony, you know that list is just to draw us offside.
And it works.
Count, bro.
And it's working.
Don't fall for the hard count.
It's working. It's working.
No, I wanted to get everyone hyped up on quarterbacks because we have an oldie and a newie in the building, with Joe Milton III being the newie and the oldie being Will Grier. I'm just going to hang around here forever until I'm 47, which would not be a terrible gig.
Can I please talk about this? Can I please talk about
Hell yes.
Do it up.
Please.
Do it up.
Please let me do this.
Do it, dog.
Look at the seriousness on my face. Let me get serious real quick.
Get serious.
I'm scared.
Okay. Joe Milton is some shit.
Oh, damn.
I'm done.
Chris.
You don't like
Chris. I thought there was more coming because I was like, that was intense, but that's all you needed to say.
Hang on. Like a young person's thing. Like Joel,
he's the shit, or
Joel
he's
Milton's
shit.
the shit, or Joel Milton's shit.
Is shit. And let me tell you.
Fuck.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
And let me go because y'all know I'm diehard Michigan, right?
Yep.
Y'all know Joe Milton went to Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Well, obviously
Joe Milton at Michigan, when his freshman year, I was like, man, we got a dynamic quarterback, big arm, strong guy, and he could even get on the freaking field. Okay? So he was at Michigan for 3 years, so he transfers out because he couldn't beat out J.J. McCarthy as a freshman. J.J. McCarthy was a freshman, and he was a junior and couldn't beat J.J. McCarthy out. So he left. He went to Tennessee. Tennessee gave him the starting position. Tennessee gifted him a position. He was out of the starting position in 3 games. Out. Okay? So when the quarterback get hurt, they put him back in, and he still did absolutely nothing. He made it to the NFL for one reason only, because he has a big arm. That's it. But he can't throw from me to you on a 10-yard end. He can't do it. But if he can throw it 70 yards, he can do it. But that's it. I hate when people started hyping up Joe Milton. I seen the kid. The kid is not good at all. Quit hyping this kid up.
Damn.
He just got a big arm. That's it. That's all. He won 1 game in the NFL. That was the last game of the season, who didn't nobody give a damn about. Joe Milton sucks.
Did Chris just rip your guys' heart out a little bit? Because we were kind of excited about it.
Look,
with like just
big arm
with no, like, we have no real reason other than like watching him throw 70 yards.
He's not who's the fucking
Trey Lance?
No, he's not Trey Lance, and he's not
Cooper Rush.
Like, it's something new.
I think we're sold on the potential.
The potential. So
I rather would have had Trey Lance back.
Oh, no.
Chris, that's like, oh, man.
I honestly would, because at least Trey is athletic. He can do a lot of things. Now, of course, I don't want him as my starting quarterback, but at the end of the season, we knew he wasn't going anywhere. They should have put Trey in for the last 3 games, just let him see. To me, you give up all these picks for him and just let him walk out the door freely.
Yeah, that was mismanaged.
Super frustrating.
He is a better quarterback than Joe Milton, guys. The big fella don't blow smoke up anybody's ass. He sucks.
Well, I mean, 5,300 passing yards, 37 touchdowns in career, and he played in Tennessee and Michigan. So in Michigan, obviously, part of that big fella is a scorn for it. My thought is, I don't want Joe Milton to be our starting quarterback either. What I do want to see, though, is something a bit more exciting than Coop Rush and fucking Trey Lance. Because Trey Lance, as much as you say you would rather have Trey Lance, you're lying about that. You don't want Trey Lance.
No, I'm
not. You do not want Trey Lance. Because Trey Lance...
Okay, yes, I do. Over Joe Milton, yes.
Oh, Chris.
Hates Joe Milton.
What about... Okay, Chris, Joe Milton, Trey Lance, or Cooper Rush?
Don't say it.
Cooper Rush.
Fuck, Chris. You can't say that shit.
It's the security. And the comfort that you have knowing what Cooper Rush can do. I get it.
I got one for you. Joe Milton or Will Grier?
Will Grier.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So what's it going to take in so we got the Big Phil's answer here. What's it going to take in preseason for you to be a bit more sold on Joe over Will?
A miracle and me to lose 100 pounds.
Really? So no matter what he does, in the preseason, you're not sold.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you know what?
I got to get one of these to cool me down.
No, I feel kind of.
I'm stressed out a little bit. Crack them if you got them.
Chris,
don't be stressed.
No, Chris. No. You can't stress us out and then tell us not to stress out.
And number two. And yes, it's your opinion. We are extremely emotional listeners.
And we went I'm like, you were saying what you were saying. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was like we had Cowboy Beat on a couple weeks ago, and he started off the episode and he was just trashing the defense, and we're like,
and the running back room.
And the running back room, and we're like, oh my gosh,
we are those Cowboys fans that are just optimistic at this time of year.
But give it to that. When we're in the fucking Sahara Desert of Cowboy news, minus the misdemeanor Devontae Turpin. Like
Two-totin'
Turpin. I want to feel optimistic about it. That's why that's getting me through it.
Now, I heard Beats takes, and I agree with 99.9% of everything he said.
Oh my!
Except Drake May.
Because that's why I'm excited about a preseason, because everything he said there was a deficiency. We need to find out about this preseason.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I like B said, the Cowboys has sugarcoated a lot of things and covered it up. You know, it put some new paint on some old shit. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
You know, so you just really you want to see it in preseason. Is this going to be actually a new toy? Is this going to be the same old shit with just new paint?
You know,
that's basically what he's saying.
And I don't disagree with that. I think every team goes through that, and what you're really hoping is that the paint, when the new shit that you've painted, can fucking make it to the end of the season. That's what you're hoping for. I do agree, though. After speaking with Cowboys Beat, definitely was like, okay, I think there's, it brought my confidence level down a little bit, and that's okay.
That's
I'm
fine.
okay with
it's almost
having that.
that's not bad.
Because I will, as soon as Super Bowl's done, Chris, I'm put the rose colors on.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at, we're drafting the next best fucking thing. It's always going to be an offensive lineman or defensive lineman.
I think the problem with not with fans, but with the Cowboys is that it's been the same issues for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So they haven't tried. I guess with the Mozzie pick, they tried to shore up the defensive line a little bit, but we've been screaming for them to draft a running back in the top 3 rounds for the last 4 years. We've been screaming.
Begging.
We've been begging. We've been screaming at them to draft a wide receiver too. We've been screaming at them to get cornerbacks, right? So it's like the positions we've been screaming about and that we're most worried about have been the same. It's like the same talking points have been the same for the last at least 3 off seasons for us.
Yeah. Now the only bad thing I can say about Cowboy Beat, he spells his name wrong, and he cheers for the punk ass, trick ass, hoe ass Ohio State Buckeyes. Other than that, I love the kid.
Oh yeah, and you know what? He's better. Next time we have him on, he better have fucking moved into that goddamn house.
I know,
because I'm not giving him another 3 months.
It has to happen.
Like get into that place.
Chris has been moving for a year.
Yeah, but Chris, you've also hit up, I don't know, 3 or 4 different states. So,
No, he's talking about Cowboy Beat.
oh,
Yeah,
so,
beat.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you both of y'all, can you well, you're halfway there at least.
Well, we're
setting up
not
this
letting you
place.
leave now.
Yeah.
Now
Hey,
we've vortexed you to the PNW. You ain't going nowhere now.
Hey man, you got to talk to the sugar mama, man. She makes more money than me, so wherever she say go, we going.
True.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not
okay.
arguing with her.
No,
she
then
brought you closer to us, so it's not
it was meant to be.
it's not going to be a problem there, right?
So what we kind of touched on running backs. You guys want to talk
Let's-
about that?
yeah, let's hop
running
right
backs.
in.
Hop into running backs. Chris, you said, and in this room, we're all kind of the same. We wanted some new blood in the running back room. Did we have to wait a little bit to get that new blood? Yeah, but I'm excited to see not only Jaden Blue but Phil Maffa, like the 2 young guys. I'm excited to see those guys in preseason. We were talking about preseason a little bit. My most exciting positional battle for training camp and preseason is going to be the young kids at running back in Maffa, Jadon Blue, and maybe even Deuce Vaughn for the 3rd time, because this is Deuce's last chance.
Yeah.
What do you think about the running back room right now? Are you sold? Do you think it's what PFF said, the 32nd ranked running back room in the NFL?
I saw that on y'all's stitch, and I was just like, they're trolling again.
Yep.
They're trolling again. We're
Fucking
not
worked.
30.
It
We're
worked.
not 32nd, okay? But I want all the young kids to play, and including Deuce, okay?
Yeah.
It's just like I was saying about the retread running backs. I'm done with that. It's a young man's position. We got thunder and lightning. Okay, so let's play the kids. I mean, how worse could it get? You know?
Yep.
And I was shocked they didn't re-sign Rico. I really was. I was just like, when you finally decide to give the ball to Rico, he runs for 1,000 yards and you just let him walk out the door.
It's fucking so
Okay.
stupid.
Hated it.
Like Rico and
Upsetting.
Javonte, Rico and Miles Sanders, like that kind of 1-2 punch, I'd feel much better as we develop these younger guys coming into it. right?
Rico, Jaden Blue, and Phil Maffa.
Yeah,
Right
you're
there.
right. Yeah,
I
you're
think that's
100%
a
right.
great
That-
combo.
That would have been perfect for me. I'd have been happy. I'd have been satisfied, everything. But they let Rico go, and it was. I call it in Texas in the hood. It's called short money, meaning it wouldn't cost you a lot. Okay, so you let him go for short money. Okay, and you thinking when they let Rico go, what was going to happen in the first 3 rounds, right? We knew it was going to be a running back. We go guard, defensive end, and then what was it?
Cornerback.
Running,
Corner.
corner.
Yeah.
Corner. And I was just like, what in the hell are we doing? It just, because in every mock, we did 100, y'all did 1,000. And every mock in the first 3 rounds, what did you guys pick?
Running
Fucking
back.
running back.
Running back. Yeah.
Or wide receiver.
Running back, wide receiver, and defensive line. I think, or like
Yeah.
tackle.
Yeah.
So, and that was consistent with everybody who did mocks, right? And the Cowboys, as usual, always will flip the script on you. Everything that you think we already got, they go and draft what you think we got. So I want to see these kids play.
Yeah.
I want to see them play. I don't want to see them sitting on the bench the
Yeah.
whole season. I want them on the field, okay? Because Jaden Blue can give you that electrifying as Turpin in the backfield, right? Because this kid got breakaway speed, man. You need Rue to talk about him because
Well,
Rue is a Texas guy.
I saw
So-
Rue in the chat. You got to let him know. He said, "Hey, let me hop in on it." It was just I was gonna send him a link, but it was just too hard to get it. We'll definitely do a Cowboy Up podcast panel in the off season with obviously we don't want Mikey to feel like he can only come on with the rest of you.
Well,
But-
I do like that he would feel that way, even though if it's not true, I still want him to feel that way.
Yes, definitely.
And that's probably hey, look, shout out to Rue for popping in for a little bit there. I definitely want to hear Rue's take on Jadon Blue.
Yes.
I think the challenge that we're going to run into, and I'm happy now that we did grab a guy like Tyler Booker. I think we're all going to be very, very happy with him as a pick moving forward. I think he's going to make any running back on our team look that like our offensive line right now. Very happy with that interior line. You know, Guyton's probably one of the weaker links on that team, but I think we have the coaching staff to help shore him up a little bit. But I think like if we can get a little bit of Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders to at least get our younger guys a lot less pressure off of them, get them in for a couple plays, have those big moments, and then start to kind of integrate them into more snaps as the season goes on. I think that's the best case scenario for us. I don't want to overuse them in preseason and then not use them in when the actual season starts. But I definitely think like these bargain bin running backs that we picked, Williams and Miles Sanders, it's like, yep, prove it to us. If you can't prove it to us, then we got our two guys, Maffa and Blue, are going to be our 1-2 punch moving forward after that.
Do they take? So they're going to probably have 4 running backs. Is that the assumption?
I at least 3 on the game day rosters, like the 53 man. I would say probably 3 and a fullback. But then you're gonna have a guy with practice squad.
Yeah,
but
which will probably
game
be
day
Moffa,
roster
right?
with our wide receiver room. I don't know if you could have 4 guys dressed on game days. 3, you'll get 3 is my best guess.
Williams, Sanders, Blue, and then Lepke in fullback, and then possibly you might see Lepke not in fullback, and they have Maffa as that 4th.
I'm gonna this is what I want to see from this running back room throughout the season.
More than 3 touchdowns.
Thank you, Ann.
And a long of 20 and a long of 27 yards.
And
that was the Cowboys' long last year. I'll ask
Was
you,
that the long of running backs?
27. Like the Rico Dowdle had a 27-yard run. They were the dead last. Cowboys were dead last in that. How long does it take for the Cowboys to break something bigger than a 27-yard run this year? Like what week?
And it's
week
going
2.
to be blue. It's going to be blue, so it depends on if they let him play.
Yeah, I'm saying by week 4, they have a longer run than 27 yards.
This is my thoughts on how we're going to see the running backs play out, though. I think we're going to see Williams and Sanders be the starters and play their relative roles. Slowly, I think it really depends on how Blue capitalizes on the chances that he gets. If he starts to capitalize and show his strengths, show that he is going to be out there for not only catching the ball, but also can rush the ball, I think he easily will take over Sanders in that role, or Williams, whoever falls to number 2 out of those 2. The hope is that Blue solidifies himself as that number 1 position, not the bell cow, but the guy who we're going to go to on the passing downs and will also get a lot of running downs. I don't know that he's going to be able to play that full rotation for running backs, but that's where Maffa would be great to come into play. The only problem is because of Deuce Vaughn being on there and also just having Williams and Sanders, is Maffa going to get enough chances to show that, hey, maybe it'll be the end of the season is what I'm expecting, where Maffa might come in and be able to start running the ball a little to see if he has that short yardage gain. Because he's a big boy. Really liked how fluid he looked, even though he might have not had some great east to west movement. But if you're 235 pounds or whatever he is, and you can move quickly, getting us 3 yards that we need to get the first down, that's where I see that he could be super valuable. Cowboys end up on the 2nd and 2 instead of having to, 2nd and goal, instead of having to pass the ball and head down. We just need a guy who can muscle the ball into the end zone.
Bulldoze.
All right, I got a question for you guys, because I'm sure y'all know how I feel about this. How do y'all feel about Williams and Sanders? I mean, because I remember I brought up the retread running back.
Yeah.
Both the guys were hurt last year, right? They were both hurt. And we're bringing them in, and they've already penciled them in as starters. Why? I don't understand why.
That's interesting. That's an interesting question. I think in my mind, it comes down to experience.
Yeah.
Both have had success in the NFL. Sanders in 2022, I want to say, what was he? 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns with a 4.9 carry. But in the last couple of years when he was in Carolina, granted Carolina's offensive line was dog shit, and they didn't have to worry about a passing attack, so they could really stack the box against the running backs. But again, injured prone a little bit. I was always a Sanders fan when he played in Philadelphia. I thought he was one of their better players and didn't get a fair shake at goal line positions. And I when he was a free agent before he went to Carolina, I really wanted the Cowboys to attempt to sign him. But he's been bad the last few years. He's been really bad. And then Javonte Williams, kind of the same thing. Started off really hot in his NFL career, got hurt a bunch. And you're right, with the red retread. And I'm all for having like a contingency plan with your running backs, but I also don't want just their experience to prevent guys that the Cowboys drafted in the later rounds to prevent them getting on the field just because these guys have played in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
I think if the one, I mean, we talked about what Shoddy going to do in terms of like holding Cavante misdemeanor Turpin accountable.
Misdemeanor.
Hopefully he holds what he was saying earlier on, saying like the best players are going to play. He's like, we're going to see how we're going to evaluate everybody in practice. Doesn't matter where you were drafted. If you earn the spot to practice with the ones, you're going to practice with the ones. Let's get you in there. He's not doing the he wasn't doing, at least when the mini camp was happening, he wasn't doing the Mike McCarthy thing and be like, okay, well, even though we drafted you in the second or the first, like you're going to start with the thirds or whatever. We're going to get you right in there. We're going to get you taking the reps right out of the gate. Hopefully it's not just going to be veteran sake starting roles. Like Williams and Sanders might be slotted in there because they're the vets right now. But if Jadon or Phil are showing like massive gains in training camp, it's like, man, like get them in, see what they do preseason, and then fucking get them up that rank right away. Who gives an F? Specifically for running back, if they know their gap assignments and where they have to hit those holes, and they understand their play calls and
block,
yeah, and who to block. Like running back is one of those positions where I feel like you don't. It's not like you need to. It's not like you're a fucking first year quarterback coming in the NFL. It's like take the rock and you run your ass off and make those and get us 4 yards on average. Get us 4.6 yards on average. Get us 5 yards on average. So I think that like the running back room, it is right now. I feel like it's anybody's position to take that starting spot, regardless of how they're penciling it in. If Shoddy is true to what he was saying, which, you know, he's probably just blowing smoke up AJ's ass. Who knows, right?
Yeah, because that was my next question. Is he actually going to do that? Is he actually going to do what he says? He's going to let everybody play and battle it out in camp and preseason? Because a true coach, that's what, if he says it, but we don't know because he's never been a head coach.
Yeah,
right?
but and think about what you just said there, Chris. We don't know. And the way that you look at this roster, like it is a prove it to me roster. You have a lot of guys on 1-year deals. You got a lot of fresh guys coming in, and it's like, it's either a very, very smart move for the Cowboys to kind of gamble with this roster this year, or it's going to fucking blow up in our face, right? And we're going to get pulled over in Allen County and get a fucking misdemeanor
Not
charge.
Allen County. What was it? It's
Collin County.
Collin
Allen
County.
is the city.
Allen, yeah.
Collin County. Fuck.
I want to get a Collin County, Texas t-shirt.
Yeah, we should get that Turpin mugshot and say Collin County on there or something like that.
That's funny.
But that's why this preseason is going to be so fun, because if you get a guy like Jadon Blue out there who breaks a big one in preseason, because don't forget, last year we were waiting for somebody to do that in preseason. One of our younger guys to kind of break out. No running backs broke out in preseason last year. None of them.
At all.
Yeah, no one did shit. So you get, say you have 3 preseason games and you get Jadon Blue and Phil Maffa, and one of those guys goes out there and breaks out like a beast. Right? So that's why this preseason is going to be a lot of fun, because there's some skill position players that have a really good chance to improve their stock for, like, it matters. This preseason matters, where I think the last few years, preseason's just kind of been bleh, because you knew what position everybody was going to be playing going into the season.
Big fella, how do you feel about the offensive line, and then with our offensive line coach and then our offensive coordinator coming from the Cardinals? Like, do you see that offensive line is going to help our run game, or is it just unsure right now?
I'm excited because we had the inside guy, on our show, Kuiper AZ, the Cardinal fan. He loves him and he raves about him, that we're going to love the new offensive coordinator, because the offensive line with the Cardinals was excellent under his coaching, and he swears by the guy. So I can only go by somebody who's seen every game he coached. Okay,
right.
So
fair.
The only time we watch Cardinal football is when they play the Cowboys.
Yep.
So I can only take his word for it. So I'm excited about it, and you got to think about it. Schottenheimer pimped his hand already. he already told you guys that the Cowboys are going to run the ball. The first pick was a guard, he automatically told you what they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
They're run the ball. They're going to run the ball. So when they drafted the third Tyler, that's what I call him, the third Tyler. Basically, I loved what the kid said because I believe in nasty offensive linemen. Okay, I was the biggest Eric Williams fan in the world. So Eric Williams was the nasty offensive lineman. He'll punch you in the mouth and punch your mom in the mouth for just saying something. So I love that he said he want to take your spirit away from not playing football. That right there pumped me up. I was like, well, shit, let's go play some fucking football, right? Hey, let's go punch somebody in the mouth, right? So that offensive line is a man game. It ain't for the weak of heart. So I'm excited. I still wish they would have gave our boy Brock Hoffman a opportunity to play that Mr. Nasty Time himself, because when Zach Martin went out, the Cowboys started running the ball. And guess who they ran behind?
Behoff
and BB, okay? Yep. So they replaced him. Okay, cool, no problem. I understand why. It's all politics in football anyway, professional football. But my biggest the biggest link is Guyton. So and somebody said it like this. They said they put him in an unfair situation because he played right tackle at Oklahoma, then they switched him to left. And everybody like, it's a tackle. What's the difference? It's a total different footwork. Then you go into the NFL where all the best speed rushers are playing that end against you. Okay. And I didn't think he was strong enough last year. I think this offseason, man, he has to prove that he's a number one pick. Okay. I didn't like what the Cowboys did with him last year, benching him some games, and he was fully healthy. I'm like, if he's got to have growing pains, he got to be on the field to play. So if Guyton plays up to his number one pick, if Terrence Steele stop being the turnstile, I think the Cowboys will do something. I need pre-contract Terrence Steele. I don't need the new Terrence Steele that I got. I'm rich now. I need I'm poor Terrence Steele. Because he played better.
That's true. And I don't know if this was in an interview or not, but I heard, so it was leaked.
Okay.
One way or another. But Terrence Steele.
Alleged.
I don't know if it came from his mouth or someone else, but basically the way that they were coaching Terrence Steele, he was a little frustrated with last year. So take that for what you will. It's coming from the guy who had an underperforming year. But if it's true and that this new coaching staff is going to have him play that right tackle position in a way that he's like most efficient, I'm going to assume they're going to do the same thing with left tackle. So it's still TBD, but I don't know how you want to feel about it. It kind of makes me feel a little better to know that Terrence Steele was also a little upset with how
things went.
And also there was another rumor, and it might have been the same article, with Cooper Beebe making his transition from guard in college to center, that he didn't have the coaching really I don't want to put words in his mouth, but essentially it boiled down to, my take was like, he wasn't getting the coaching that was necessary for him. And he even just didn't have a terrible year. But just hearing all those things together gives me hope that
there could be growth.
If Steele's going to return to that form that we saw him in, what was it, 2022?
2022.
23?
2022. It was 2022.
Then this is the chance that he will do so.
Well,
they obviously saw enough in him that they gave him that big-ass fucking contract, right?
Yeah, my ideal offensive line for the Cowboys, Brock at center, BB at guard, Tyler Smith at tackle, put Tyler Guyton at his natural position right, and put Booker at the other guard. That's my ideal offensive line.
I wouldn't hate that.
On the bench.
I wouldn't hate that. I don't think we're going to see it.
But it shows that, like, just being able to name those guys in different positions, it shows kind of the flexibility that the offensive line has. And not even to mention the flexibility, the offensive line's probably one of our bigger depth spots besides, I'd say our biggest depth spots, wide receiver, O-line, and defensive line. Defensive ends. I'll say defensive ends. I won't say defensive lines.
Yeah, we got a lot of defensive ends.
A lot of defensive ends. So it's nice that we could have maybe a couple guys go down because the offensive line that starts week 1 is not going to be the offensive line that starts the whole season. It's nice to know that you have a guy like Hoffman who could jump in and play center, who could jump in and play guard, because at some point, one of those 3 spots, either the guards or the center, are going to get hurt.
Sure.
And it's nice to know that there's not going to be that much fall off. Like Big Fella said, when Hoffman came in for Zach Martin last year, there was an improvement on the offensive line.
Yeah.
And did you notice your third string guard showed his ass too, TJ Bass?
Totally.
Remember when BB went down and they moved Brock to center and they put TJ Bass at guard? They didn't miss a beat. They didn't. So the Cowboys' offensive line is deep.
Yep.
It's just the starting offensive line need to play better.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
that's my whole thing. Our tackles, man, they just got to play better. They got to keep number 4 upright.
Well, they also have to. I mean, out of the tackles, like Tyler Guyton was the 4th most penalized lineman in the NFL last season. He had 14.
Guyton did?
Yeah, Guyton had 14.
He didn't
He's
even
4th.
play every game.
He was 4th out of it was 17 for Laramie Tunzel, then Spencer Brown for 15, and then Deion Dawkins and Tyler Guyton were tied for 14 penalties. So it's like,
and you saw it in the game,
yeah.
too, because I remember one game I think he had 5 holding calls.
Yeah,
and I was like, brother, I played every position on offensive line too, and tackle is the hardest. But bro, that's your natural position is tackle. Your footwork got to be better. In pro football, man, you got to move your feet. You can't be a lazy offensive lineman in professional football because these speed rushers, man, these guys are running 4.5, 4.6, and they're only 260 pounds, and they can move. You know, Micah Parsons. Can you imagine? I thought he was going to be better because you had to block Micah Parsons in practice. You figured he'd be better.
That's all they should have done was make him go up against Micah one-on-ones
every
nonstop.
down. Every down.
Just Micah every time. He
Yeah.
only started 11 games, so put that in perspective. 14, you said, had 14
Yeah,
penalties
14.
in 11 started games.
That's a
Who?
lot.
Guyton.
4th most penalized lineman.
And they only started 11 games.
I mean,
That's a
look,
lot. That's
we
a
need
lot.
we need Guyton and Steele to perform because we got awesome Richards, who whatever,
Depth piece.
great name. And then we got Wingspan Maletsko, who we know he can only play maybe 2 or 3 downs before that shoulder pops out on him.
But speaking of awesome, when he did play, he played pretty good last year.
When he
You
was
know,
in, yep.
He's a depth guy. So I wouldn't mind, like, if somebody got hurt, it's an emergency. He's not gonna get number 4 killed.
All right,
No.
guys, let's hop to the defense here. We talked offense.
Hell yeah.
Let's hop to the defense here, and we touched on it with some depth. So I think one of the big positional battles in camp and preseason, who the hell's going to be the guy rushing the quarterback opposite Micah Parsons? Who's going to be that defensive end 2 or that defensive end 3? Because there's a lot of names and guys that have been in the NFL, a guy that had been successful with the Dallas Cowboys in one of his prior stints. Who do you guys got? D-Law's not the incumbent starter anymore. That spot's open.
Let me just read off the names here. So on our defensive line, right to left, we got Micah Parsons, Osa, Mozzie Smith, and
No. Defensive ends.
No,
Those
ends.
Oh, sorry.
So Dante
I'm
Fowler
sorry.
Jr.
Fowler Jr., Micah Parsons.
And then, so those are the starters.
D-Easy, Marsha Nealon in the back in second, and then Peyton Turner and Sam Williams ranked 3rd right now.
And then do they have a 4th? I'm just wondering if they...
Peyton Turner.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Wheat. Okay.
Tire Sweet, which it's like, okay, hopefully we don't see him on the field.
So when you have Sam Williams, and it might be due to the injury, but you have him as your 3rd string defensive end, that means you have some depth as these. You're gonna have a nice rotation for these ends, man.
You know, I'm excited about the passing downs. If you got Micah Parsons, Fowler, Donovan, and Sam Williams at the field at the same time, are you gonna double Micah Parsons?
You can try.
No, because
You
it's
can't.
all speed rushers. So when it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, I want all 4 speed rushers on the field, all of them, and say,
hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
and say, sick them.
Well, and
Go get 'em.
that's what the Cowboys had success in the last time Fowler Jr. was with the Cowboys. They would have Fowler down in Micah's spot, Micah in the middle, D-Law in the middle, and then I can't remember who. Oh, and then Dorrance Armstrong
Right
there.
Right.
That's what they would do on 3rd downs, and teams couldn't block it. They were the best. That group of 4 guys was the best percent to getting the quarterback when it was only 4 guys rushing.
Well, even think about this, Anthony. Put Osa leave Osa there and put Micah in the middle, and he can rush wherever he wants.
Yeah, because Osa is probably one of the best pass rushing defensive tackles in the NFL.
So can you imagine those 5 players rushing?
Yeah,
on third.
You got some speed,
on, bro.
Yeah,
that would be so awesome.
Yeah, you're right, because you have a little bit of a cheat code with Micah Parsons where you can drop him into a linebacker-esque role. He's that hybrid player on that team. You keep Fowler Jr., you keep Osa on the line, and then you bring up Sam Williams or Marshawn Nealon or D-Easy in Micah's place, and now all of a sudden, what the heck are you going to do?
I'm never in third down. I'm never putting Micah as a linebacker ever. Third and long.
Well, think about it.
Ever.
The reason,
maybe from linebacker to blitz.
That's what I mean.
Linebacker to blitz. Linebacker to blitz.
He's coming regardless.
You just don't know where from.
I like him. I like him at that middle linebacker rushing because you one-on-one on the center who can't handle that speed. Okay. Yeah. Tackles are made to handle the speed, but you got one-on-one on the seat. So to me, the quickest point to any point is a straight line, right?
Yeah.
So if you got Micah coming straight up the middle on a center who can't move his feet against the fastest defensive lineman in the league.
Soon to be soon to be the highest paid defensive player in the NFL.
Let's damn well hope. But
totally.
Fingers crossed.
You add that if he's rushing behind Osa, and either you let Osa go, which is great for us, or you take Osa and then now you have to let Micah squeak through.
It's a lose-lose for the
It's a lose-lose.
So then that goes back to the question: what's your guys' defensive end lineup looking like? Who's your 1 to 4?
I think Fowler's going to start, and Donovan is going to be. He's going to get a lot of playing time because you drafted that kid for a reason, right? And he's a sack machine. So my biggest thing, he's going to be out there more than Nealon, because Nealon more is more of a run stopper than a pass rush guy. He reminded me so much of DeMarcus
Lawrence.
The one Swagoo on ESPN. What's Swagoo?
Oh fuck! Why can't I think of? I can't think of his name either.
We all just know him as Swagoo.
Yeah.
So Swagoo
Spears.
Marcus Spears.
Spears was the defensive end too, but he was more of the run stopping defensive end, and that's who Nealon reminds me of. He's just a run stopping guy. I think he got 1 sack last year. I think before he got hurt early in the season. He came back the last 4 games, but I think he grabbed 1. But I just consider him a run guy.
And that's interesting because you could have Nealon possibly in those rundowns, right? So you might even see a Micah Parsons and Marshawn Nealon out there, right, on first down, possibly depending how Fowler is doing against playing the run. But then you could switch up. Like there's going to be such a good rotation with these defensive ends, and all you need is these guys that are coming in to go opposite Micah when they do have those one-on-one battles. We just need those guys to get home.
Yeah,
I guess.
But, hey, Anthony, do you notice though, man? I think they're so deep enough, man. They can give Micah a breather or 2.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Because you got a bunch of rush guys. So I don't. Of course, they're not going to be as great as Micah, but you know, I can see them still creating pressure with Micah not being on the field either.
It'll be interesting to see what Eberflus runs as the defensive scheme. Like, are they going to be doing?
They'll be base 4-3 still.
But is he gonna run a bunch of like double mug plays where all of a sudden you don't know, you have all these guys that are basically lined up on the line and they're kind of hiding who the heck is gonna drop back or go downhill and block that run? Like what the reason I think like Micah Parsons moving him into a linebacker hybrid position, if a guy like Nealon, and Chris said it, Nealon's more of a run stopper, but Sam Williams has that speed. He has that reckless speed almost, that undisciplined speed.
Sam Williams had really good stats for the 1/3 when he played the full season. He played 1/3 of the snaps roughly, and he had if
for pass rushing.
Yeah, and if he would have extrapolated that, he would have had like some.
Yeah, so outside of him,
stats.
like looking like Micah's twin, like having him possibly come back in, or Dante Fowler Jr. and having D-Easy on the other side, and then you kind of have Micah in that hybrid because obviously Micah can drop back if he needs to, or he can blitz down the middle and be a pass rusher.
Don't say that around Ant.
Ant,
He's
I know,
not
look
going to
at that
ever
shit.
take.
I
shit.
got just a quick breakdown of Eberflus, the type of defense he's going to run. I'll get it in you, AJ.
Crack him if you
So
got
it
him.
says one gap attacking style, which relies heavily on an athletic 3-tech defensive tackle to penetrate gaps, disrupt the line, and pave the way for linebackers. That's from Blogging the Boys. And then he also likes a bend but don't break approach. He limits blitzing. 4-man rushes are the norm, which we talked about. What kind of can we get there with 4 dudes? Ranking them among the lowest blitz rates in the league, relies on sound tackling and interior pressure. So you're not going to see that like guys coming up on the line. You're going to see a base 4-3 or a base 4-2-5 when it's nickel situations.
21 Armando has entered the chat. Just wanted to.
There he
he
is.
did that. He did
21.
that DQ right in. Okay.
Where
21.
Arizona, Armando,
El Paso.
El Paso,
Paso.
Mano. Sorry, 21. Glad to have you here. So my hope, though, is that I love Dante Fowler Jr. Glad he's back on the squad.
Same. He had a good season last year, man.
But I totally agree. We want to see. Nealand, if he's going to play that role to be a run stopper, definitely want to see him prove that he's going to be that dude. Because I'd love to have that kind of need locked up.
Not 7 yards ran every first down.
Exactly. Do we get that guy? But it's between Deezy and Sam Williams. And I hope that the competition is fierce because Deezy's got high praise. Sam Williams, when he wasn't injured, did really well. And I think we were all pretty stoked on him.
Remember how excited we were from last season going into the season? I think it was.
I was so excited.
Day two of camp. I think it was day 2 of camp. He tears his ACL.
Yeah.
I'm like, here we fucking go. Crack him if you got him.
And that's always scary. But I'm excited to see which one. I think by the end of the season, my prediction would be D-Easy or Sam Williams. And unfortunately, I guess I hope it's D-Easy just because he's the new rookie. So
cheapest, longest.
That he takes over the position for Fowler Jr., who's still out there playing when we need him to. All in all, though, I am excited about this room. If everyone comes to play in 2025, we could have some. It might not help the run game, but we should be putting quarterbacks into the back pedal quite often.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about these D ends, man. I really am. You know what people gonna try to? They're gonna try to run on the Cowboys, right? So, I just think the defensive ends got their great rush potential, but that we're gonna have to stop the run. Okay. So I know our conversation wasn't about defensive tackles or anything like that, but my Michigan man Mozzie got to get off his ass.
Yes, sir.
There's no sugarcoating it all. He has to get off his ass and he got to play football. Okay, and you got to have that desire because you can tell when somebody don't want to play or don't have the heart to play.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating me because he didn't play like that at Michigan, man. You had the triple, double, flipple. You had to block him, okay, because he was a menace. But my hope is Mozzie get off his ass this year and play some football. Osa, we know what we're going to get with Osa. We know it. Osa, I was so excited they signed Osa. I was like, thank you, Lord. Osa is a great guy. Solomon Thomas and the kid. I'm excited about the kid from UCLA, the Tongan kid. Hey, you always need a Tongan on your team. You need a Tongan on your team.
Totally.
Yes.
Okay?
just so you can just share some spam with them, just some fried spam.
Yes. You got to have a Tongan on your team.
Best news is there, Chris. Mozzie Smith takes the leap that we need him to take and shows that, hey, I can play this position in the NFL.
Year 3, baby. Shit or get off the pot.
Worst case is Jay Toya comes in and does that.
And can't get, and then Mozzie's irrelevant because now you found your, what was he, our 7th round pick?
Now, this was my hot sports opinion on our show, the Cowboy Podcast, Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. This is a cheap plug.
Nice plug.
Fucking plug it again. Hey, plug it again. Run it back right now. Go for it.
So this is my thing. I said this on our show. It's a possibility Mozzie may not make it out of camp. He may get cut.
Wow.
Whoa. Hot take.
Michigan Wolverine.
Wow. And I'm a Michigan guy.
Yeah, and I'll back you up just because I'm following Go Blue from you, Chris. So if you're saying that, I'm saying that.
So I mean, he literally got to get off his ass this preseason, or he's gonna get cut.
Wow.
Cut his ass. If you can't make the team, if you can't make the jump, then you're
I
Your
just don't.
glory days are college.
I just don't know if there's like enough depth for them to do
But
that.
you got to think about it, Anthony. If our number one pick is not doing anything, why are you wasting money and wasting time? You know, the Cowboys have been doing that for years, wasting time on players. Quit wasting time. If Mozzie's not going to play, get his ass out and let's go get somebody else.
Chris, I like when you make sense because it makes sense. It makes total sense.
Before we move into our next group, I did hear the coolest nickname for Brian Anger that the boys were calling him on one of the most recent Dallas Cowboys clips, which they're doing more often now, which is nice. But they were asking, who would you trust for relationship advice? And they were calling Brandon Aubrey Banger.
You mean Brian Anger?
They were calling Brian Anger
Banger.
Banger.
Yeah.
Not Brandon Aubrey.
It would be funny if they were calling Brandon Aubrey Banger, but
No,
they're calling
sorry.
him Banger because he.
Brian, is he bang?
'Cause
No.
he's fucking
They were
banging.
actually ranking Brian Anger as being the guy who they would go to for relationship advice, and Dak Prescott, and then there was also Cooper Beebe, but Dak and Anger were the two guys,
And they call him Banger.
They call him Banger.
I like
Bangers
it.
and mash. Dudes, so the next kind of position group we're going to look at here is cornerbacks,
Ooh,
because
skipping linebackers.
linebackers, I think, sure.
Yeah,
we can-
well, we're just kind of picking. We're not going over the
I'm
whole.
not going the
team.
whole team because I think
We did running backs, wide receiver, backup quarterback, right? We didn't. Oh, I guess we did kind of offensive line.
What we want though, we want kind of a solid person, and I don't feel like linebacker we have.
Hey,
No, I agree.
I think linebacker is like all open.
We need something to talk about
Well,
next
that's- but-
Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, right.
We
Okay.
need-
yeah,
Like,
Adam.
Well,
I'm ki-
I
I'm
mean,
kicking him.
I almost think we should kind of leave off cornerback personally, but we can roll it. I thought we still had to get your pick on what college team.
I thought so too.
Oh yeah, okay. So do you want to just?
I feel
I mean,
like
we're
one-
here.
We're here.
We're here.
We're here.
We're and what?
I know. I know what
Oh,
you're gonna say.
I know what you're gonna. We're here and we're cool.
We're here.
We're cool. We don't want any more beer. That's the rhyme.
We're here. Let's have some beer.
I just want to hear linebacker real quick then, and then we're gonna
Yeah,
go
real
into
quick.
the
Let's.
decision.
We got a quick one.
Quarterbacks, we have obviously Deron Bland and Diggs in our starting positions. Behind them is Siobhan Revel Jr., third-round pick of this season. Kyer Elam played for Buffalo Bills, traded for that guy. And then behind those guys, Kalen Carson, 2024 draft pick, and C.J. Goodwin. How do we feel about that? Let me just start off, because that might have been confusing how I unloaded that.
I don't know what
Trevon
you're
Diggs
saying.
injured. I think he's going to play the season, but I think I'd rather they let him wait to the point where he's really comfortable. Bring him in, maybe even play him in a couple games before you move him into that starting role. But I think we're going to probably be waiting until, I'll say week 4, could be week 3 to 5, that type of thing, before Diggs is like fully ready to get back on the field. With that, though, either Kyer Elam or Siobhan Revel Jr. will show up, and I'm hoping one of those guys takes over. I'm not a Trevon Diggs hater. My final sentence, not a Trevon Diggs hater, but I do believe that his career was electric, but probably we are on the downward trend of what we saw from Trevon Diggs. And I'll leave it at that.
I'll as a bandwagon boy, we tend to agree on a lot. I'm going to go the reverse on this one. Just to
reverse bandwagon boy.
I'm going to reverse beat up B here. I feel like because there's so much stacked against Diggs, I want to see him come back and be that electrifying player that we saw when he was fully healthy.
I want to see that too.
Fully healthy before his
Yeah,
contract.
you sound like you're a hater.
Just because you hate the Dig brothers, Stefan and Trevon.
No.
And then Travion. I do want to see Diggs come back in and have a solid season. I am absolutely worried about the cornerback position, specifically when we're talking about bringing back Stephon Gilmore, which I think we probably should, because right now there's no one who's going to be that surefire person to handle that secondary spot for us. You know, we drafted Siobhan Revel Jr. in the 3rd round. Great pick, but it's not a pick for this season because he's possibly going to be injured. He might not even be ready to go for season regardless of what they're saying, right? So I think, we have a lot of like banged up guys here. I do want to see that story, but it is probably one of the most concerning positions for me, at least right now, coming into the 2025 season. Chris?
No one has anything to say.
Yeah, well, my big question with the secondary is one thing, one position winner. Who's going to replace Jordan Lewis?
Yeah,
that's what I want to know. The starting corners, I could care less if it's Diggs or Bland or Elam or Rebel. I want to know who's going to play that slot position, okay? Because Jordan Lewis had that lockdown for the last 4 years, and we let him get away to the Jags. I'm sick as a dog about it. So when they drafted Rebel, I was thinking, okay, the kid is going to get on the field, and I hope he can step up in that position. I thought it was at that spot. I thought we were going running back, but we went corner, and I kind of understood. I was still pissed, but I understood, man. We needed somebody to replace Jordan, and hopefully, man, this kid can step up, man. Everybody has high praises for him. So I'm more worried about the nickel corner than the two starting corners.
Well, they got Israel Mukuamu slotted in right now on ESPN special teams, and I don't think that's going to be who's the nickel back going into season. I just don't see it. I think you're going to get the best of you're going to get the best of Revel or Elam. Well, I guess Elam's probably going to be starting at right cornerback. So it's scary. You might even see the Cowboys pick up a guy that gets cut after training camp that they can plug and play maybe.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Because I don't know if you have 3 starting cornerbacks right now.
Right.
If you look at the roster with the injuries, right? With Trevon Diggs being injured, with Savon Revel being injured, Kalen Carson got his chance. We know he didn't play great. Maybe he's gonna grow a little bit in year 2. I mean, CJ Goodwin, he's a perennial special teams guy. You're not going to expect much from him, but the cornerback position was a big issue last season, and it looks like to start the season, it's going to be one of the biggest issues on paper, at least. I mean, shit could change.
Anthony, do you think the pass rush is going to help them out, though?
It should, yes. Correct. It should. The pass rush should help, and who knows? A nice defensive scheme could also help, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that 1 year stint with what the fuck's his name? Why can't I think of the defensive coordinator from last year?
Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer. I mean, maybe that was just kind of not working for anyone. So it'll be nice to see what Eberflus can get in there and get done. But I'm not sold on the cornerback position. I think you're going to see Deron Bland starting, and Elam will be your starters.
Yeah.
And Nickelback, fuck, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Well, Nickelback, I mean, hey, they have great hits.
Chris, Nickelback is a Canadian rock alt band
hail from Abbotsford, British Columbia.
I know who Nickelback is. I know who it is.
Hey, well, you live in the PNW right now, so you better fucking know
Chris,
who Nickelback is.
They are from the town over from Chilliwack, Abbotsford,
well,
British Columbia.
Technically not. They're from Alberta. They're from Alberta.
We don't need to hear technicalities.
Well, I watched their documentary on Netflix.
Boring,
it was actually pretty good.
Technicalities, boring. Okay, let's get off this depth chart and let's get AJ. You've dick teased us all. You've dick teased.
You little fucking dick tease.
These Michigan Wolverine and the Cowboys up podcast, big fella Chris. He's diehard Michigan Wolverine fan. Adam's coattailed on him as a Michigan Wolverine fan.
Go blue.
Decided I'm going to be rooting for the Notre Dame.
Fighting Irish? You don't even fucking know your team.
Yeah, you suck.
Got him.
I'm trying. That's all that matters. You wait till AJ tells you he's going to be cheering for Virginia Tech.
He would never do that to the big guy.
No, so first of all, let me get this up here. These are the teams. Oh my God, I'm more nervous than I've ever been in my life. These are the teams: Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, and the Michigan Wolverines. Now,
okay, so the blurry Virginia Tech. Why do you have the VT up on that pedestal for you in terms of your choice?
Why is it there? Okay, yeah, thank you, Adam. Very good.
You're welcome.
So Notre Dame, great history. I'm Irish.
Hold on, can I say this about Notre Dame?
Yeah, go for it.
The University of Michigan taught them how to play football. You can keep going.
Hey, Anth, suck it.
It was back in the late 1800s. Both these teams began. Michigan Wolverines obviously got my boys right here. Historic history, and Virginia Tech, just really cool intro.
Okay. Yeah, the intro.
That's why
boys.
they're on there.
So technically, it's down to the Michigan Wolverines and.
I'm hat tossing Virginia Tech. Get them out of here.
Fuck VT. Get them out.
Get Virginia Tech out of here. Now we're down to just these last two boys. Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
I mean, those are both dope hats.
And the Michigan Wolverines.
Did you create that with AI?
Yeah,
That's
that's
an
from
AI.
Grok.
That's pretty sweet.
Well, no, this one's ChatGPT.
Oh, see,
The
okay,
last one
ChatGPT.
was Grok.
Yeah,
those are both sweet hats.
And I had to make a tough decision, guys. And it, you know, these are the two teams that I want to be a part of, and I'm always going to be a part of one way or another. But I have to say, at the end of the day,
He's a fighting Irish man.
I'm coming to the fucking Irish, baby! I'm going to the Notre Dame Irish! No! And then let me tell you why, if I may, before you jump on me and call me an asshole. They're
I'm not
Irish.
going to call you that.
They're Irish. Fuck Boston College. Epic history. We got Love as the running back. Carr as that young QB, which I'm excited about. Past players, Curly Lambeau, Joe Montana, Tim Brown, Jerome Bettis, Joe Theismann, Zach Martin,
Yep.
and Manti Te'o. Cool story. Bloodline squad coming up here. We got Jerome Bettis Jr., Elijah Burris, Plaxico Burris' son, James Flatt. No!
Take it away, Jeff. Take it off. Get it out of there, Chris.
Did he take off the AJ
He
shirt?
took it off.
Yeah.
Oh,
James
fuck
Flanagan, Jim Flanagan, son, Thomas Davis Jr., Thomas Davis Sr.'s son, Devin Fitzgerald, Larry Fitzgerald's son, Caden Finley, Jamarcus Finley's son, and their first ever NFL draft pick went to the Steelers, round 3, and his name was William Shakespeare.
Chris, don't.
No, shut up for a second, Adam. AJ, go Irish.
Go Irish, baby.
Oh my God.
Play like a champion today.
Let's, Chris, the you get last word here. He's
I'm
speechless.
scared. I'm so scared.
Yeah, go blue.
Oh, shit. Well, it's on then, baby.
All I got to say.
We just got ourselves a good old-fashioned rivalry now, boys.
Look, I needed. Part of the decision was it was fun to even it out, boys. I'm sorry.
You got to get.
I'm not sorry.
No, you're not sorry.
All the recruiting I did, my motivation to recruit AJ, he could have had this awesome band play him in every time he mentioned it himself. The history. He named all those bullshit players from Notre Dame. Go down the list for Michigan. The great Tom Brady. Did you forget him?
I did not. I saw. I know.
Did you forget the great Charles Woodson? Did you forget Desmond Harris? Hail to the victors, to the conquering heroes. Hail to Michigan, the leaders and best. Hail to the conquering heroes. Hail to the victors, valiant. Hail to Michigan, the leaders and the best. Go blue!
Go blue.
I mean, that was pretty.
You know,
was pretty good.
Chris, you know I love you. That's all I gotta say, my dude.
I'm so disappointed.
I know you're disappointed, but you know what?
It felt right.
Hey, no transfer portals for you.
No.
Hat.
No.
You signed with them. That's you stay with them.
They, like you said, Chris, you always told me something that you told your son when he decided to be a Washington Redskins fan years ago. You said, once you pick them, you don't get a change.
Yeah,
that's your team. So I went this offseason. I said I'm going Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I'm in, and I know AJ's going to be the same way. But big fella, before we get out of here, before you get up in Canada for that preseason game,
I'm getting a nasty text too. By the way,
you will be in 1 month. Tell everybody where they can find you and what nights you guys go live.
Man, you can find us on the Cowboy Up podcast. We go live on Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time. You can find us on YouTube. If you want to follow me on social media, you can find me at Dallas Cowboy Chris on TikTok. You can find me at the Cowboy Up Podcast on Instagram and Dallas Cowboy Chris on Instagram. And also, if you're Facebook users, you can find me as Christopher Lee on Facebook.
Hell yeah.
Hell to the yeah.
Chris, always a blast having you on. You're gonna be in studio in 1 month to today.
Hell yeah.
How sweet is that?
I'm just
In
gonna
1 month, I'm excited.
Chris, we are doing a bit more college coverage this season, so we need to figure out what the weekend that you're coming up for a 10 a.m. game.
Okay.
And you're going to come in and we're going to pair it with you and I watching our Michigan Wolverines destroy whatever fucking schmucks they're playing. And then we'll play these two fucking fighting Irish in college football 26.
Yes.
Go fucking blue, baby.
I cannot believe he did that to me.
I know.
I'm emotional. I don't even want to go to bed tonight. I'm gonna be up all night.
You're not.
See, now you're breaking my heart.
Was that a Marty Jannetty?
That was. You just Marty Jannetty, big fella.
Well, I just want to say if anyone out there thinks that I just Marty Jannetty'd my boy big fella and I had to make a tough decision. It was a tough decision. We had to make it. I want you to go up into their face, get right close like you're going to kiss them, and then you tell them to go fuck yourselves!
Go Irish, baby. All day, all long, baby.
We love you, Big Chris.
Love you, big fella.
Go blue.
Cowboys Chris, he's out.